German government has promised to shut down all its nuclear reactors by 2022, sparking a debate about the energy future of the country amid frequent environmental protests. Germany is currently using a record amount of renewable energy, though, with alternative sources covering almost half of electricity consumption this year. Although critics say by switching to renewable energy while phasing out nuclear power is becoming too ambitious. Pete Oliver has more.
Germany has set some bold targets when it comes to cutting emissions from energy production. The federal government is committed to a 55% reduction in 1990 levels of greenhouse gases by 2030. When it comes to the climate and energy in Germany, things are heating up. Just this weekend, hundreds of protesters broke through a police line to demonstrate against the mining of brown coal in the west of the country.
What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now!
It's 8 years since German Chancellor Angela Merkel said she would shut down the country's nuclear power plants by 2022 in the wake of the Fukushima nuclear disaster in Japan. The idea is that renewables like wind and solar power would take up the slack. But when you phase out nuclear and the wind doesn't blow or the sun doesn't shine, you have to replace that energy in the grid. And that has meant burning more dirty coal. Activists who are in favour of nuclear say the energy source is suffering from a bad reputation and that the decision to phase out nuclear energy is actually counterproductive to emission goals and that the decision was made for political, not scientific reasons.
People are misinformed about nuclear energy. They think it's extremely risky, but just the opposite is true. Well, the reason for phasing out nuclear are clearly politically only. Science says if you want to go carbon-free, you have to use carbon-free power sources. And nuclear is the most effective carbon-free power source.
Along with nuclear waste, safety is one of the major concerns of nuclear critics. The huge recent popularity of HBO's dramatisation of the Chernobyl disaster has again seen nuclear safety issues brought up. But is that fair?
This was clearly the most dramatic and serious nuclear accident ever. But is Chernobyl representative for modern nuclear energy? It is not. That accident, which happened more than 30 years ago, does not mean anything to modern reactor technology.
It's not just activists that want to see the nuclear phase-out nixed. Huge names from the German automobile industry have said they would like to see the use of nuclear power extended. Also, key figures in German business saying that it would benefit both consumers and industry financially. And even members of Angela Merkel's own party have said they would rather see coal power binned while nuclear remained. However, those that aren't in favour of nuclear power say that it would be worth it in the short term to pay more for energy for, in the long term, receiving clean energy sources and lower bills.
The short-term effects would, of course, lead to increasing prices, but these increases are still affordable. In the long term, we could expect, especially from 2030, we could expect the same level of prices that we had in 2010. That means in the long run we'll have a comparative advantage.
Nuclear power could set to be phased out here in Germany in the next couple of years, even if renewable energy isn't at the stage to take up the slack. One of the reasons for this is the power companies here have either cut back significantly or cut back altogether when it comes to research and development in the nuclear sector. Also, once the decommissioning process has begun, well, many sites simply can't be used again. That means that once nuclear is gone, it's gone for good without having to build brand new, prohibitively expensive infrastructure. And what that means is, well, Germany would have to import more energy from its neighbours. Some of that energy, of course, is generated by, you guessed it, nuclear power. Peter Oliver, RT, Germany.